A build as innovative as our Chevy truck project requires knowing the right place to call when you have to send a job out. Classic Industries has a lot of reach with elite specialty shops, and the tranny builders we're heading to are top specialists. B&M Transmissions have worked on every kind of vehicle this side of the moon rover.
Northridge is known as a quake zone, but it may not be geological. Some of it may be the result of a B&M transmission with a Hurst shifter.
Dan.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Steve Macias,
Hey, Steve.
Dan.
Good. Is this it? Is this ours?
Yeah.
Is it? All right.
It's a 700 R4 transmission that we're rebuilding for the 53 Chevy. We basically completely stripped it down, rebuilt it with all our new B&M products to get the most performance out of the transmission.
The first component we actually put in was the output shaft with the reaction carrier. And then next we put the 5 clutches and then the low reverse sprag assembly.
Why is this a sun shell?
Well, it's called sun because this is your sun gear and this is your reverse planetary, so that it's named after like a solar system type deal.
Okay. So, yeah, there's a lot of astrological stuff that goes on with transmissions.
The key is to turn it to all the clutches engaged.
You got to engage the 3/4 clutches to engage on the reaction shaft carrier assembly. So you have to rotate it to slot the actual teething of the 3/4 clutch to the reaction carrier and also slot the sun gear to the reverse housing.
Yeah, of course, that all makes sense. You don't want to get that stuff mixed up. That's why even veteran techs go for a coffee break when transmission talk comes up. All I know is bolting the pump into place means the heavy lifting is nearly done.
Put the spring in first, and then our servo.
The gaskets, you should always check the markings to make sure you don't mix match the gaskets. So you always check for the C for case, and then you put the separator plate, and then you check for V for the valve body side of the gasket. But actually, we also got to put the auxiliary valve body, which houses your forward accumulator.
I've accumulated before, but I didn't know there was one on a transmission.
We're utilizing a 2,000 stall speed torque converter for this application, which ultimately means you put your foot on the brake, you give it some gas, it'll rev up to 2,000 RPM before the car will want to launch, which is a real good combination for this type of engine that Classic Industries is using.
A 2,000 torque converter may be the goal, but we won't know for certain until we put it to the test. We'll take a higher number if we get it.
The heavy grease.
We use Translube assembly to hold things in place and lubricate seals. We put a standard depth chrome pan that, just for looks.
That's called a little flash and the pan.
We typically build approximately 1,000 units a year, anything from mild street strip transmission to full race transmissions for dragsters, door cars, sprint cars. We're all over the board as far as our old transmission builds and some new applications.
And there you have it, Dan.
Beautiful. And time. Nice job. So from here, we go to your dyno?
Yeah, everything's buttoned down, and what we're gonna check on this is your pressures and your lube, and it's getting all 4 gears.
I think some of the most impressive things I saw at B&M was the dynos, their torque converter dyno. I've never seen one before. Very impressive to see how they test and make sure that they produce a quality product.
This transmission did well. Everything shifted, everything downshifted where it's supposed to at the RPMs that it's supposed to, and worked fine.
Okay, so that confirmed that you have a 3,000 stall torque converter.
Yes.
And there's really nothing to tweak on this dyno. It's just confirming your fin design is correct.
That is correct.
Awesome. Well, listen, we have a transmission to get, so that means we're going to have to shift gears and get out of here.
Okay, great. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Colin.